What's up, everybody? This is the Act Man here, and today we're going to answer a very important question. Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA. Will it suck or will it be awesome? So before we get into it, let's just set the stage, alright? Star Wars Battlefront 2015. Now, if we ignore the fact that saying that makes me want to die a little bit inside, the game itself was a massive disappointment to many gamers, while also being an incredible game for some. A lot of people loved it, a lot of people hated it, and I think it's safe to say the majority of Star Wars, first-person shooter, and Battlefront fans were disappointed with the overall game. And this was for a variety of reasons. One of the biggest being most of the media coverage meant to promote the game was instead promoting the features that weren't going to be in the game. It was like EA had taken the Battlefront 2 formula and had just skinned it and presented us the bones as if we were going to be happy about that. Oh, it won't have a single-player campaign? Oh, it won't have Galactic Conquest? Wait, no instant action? A Seasons Pass? Oh, there's no split screen? No space battles either? Or Clone Wars? This is gonna suck, isn't it? It's gonna look nice, but it's gonna suck radioactive bantha poodoo. Instantly, thousands of potential customers, myself included, passed on the game. Even EA themselves admitted they were disappointed with how the game performed, talking about how they had marketed it towards a wide age group, which eventually led to the game being dumbed down as a result. I mean, it really is shocking to see how poorly the game did after it was riding alongside a brand new Star Wars movie with the brand recognition and the promotion that it got. And yet it still underperformed and EA was still disappointed. I think that says a lot about the mistakes made in that game, and how they can change that moving forward. Barely a month after its release, there was about 6,000 people playing it on PC, and the game was quickly outshined by Battlefield 4, a game released 2 years prior that also had a broken-ass launch. Of course, the point of this is not to bash Star Wars Battlefront 1 EA 2015 the reboot, as much as we'd all like to just take a nice dump on it. The point is they took a reputable brand and in the process of rebooting it, delegitimized the Battlefront series. It was like the soul and the heart of what makes Battlefront so fun was taken away, and gamers saw that, and now EA has an uphill battle with this new game. And then we come to Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA 2017. And the redundant titles of these games is making me go insane. But those same thoughts of, is this gonna suck, are starting to swirl in people's minds again. Our skepticisms were verified after the first one, and the question will be, will that same skepticism be verified again? So what I'm gonna do is take a look at everything we know about Battlefront 2 as of this moment, and make some educated guesses on whether it's gonna suck or be awesome. Now, in my mind, there's 6 things that Battlefront 2 needs to have. 6 things that would make just about anyone wanna buy this game. Alright, the first bit of news will make everyone happy. There will be no Seasons Pass bullshit. Woo woo! Oh yeah! You could say they sent in the supers. So the article that confirms this comes from Mashable.com, and in it, Bernd Diemer, the creative director for the Star Wars Battlefront EA 2015 and 2017 games, states, "We don't have a Seasons Pass." He goes on to say, "We decided on that, and it's one of those difficult decisions because it has so many implications all around. When we look at the way Battlefront had evolved over its lifetime with the DLC and everything, we decided, you know what? For this type of game, Season Passes are not the best thing. We need to take it apart and come up with something better." I mean, that's great news, isn't it? But there is one caveat, as EA, in classic fashion, adds a bit of ambiguity on the subject by saying, "While we're not ready to confirm any live service plan just yet, what we can say is we heard the feedback from our Battlefront community loud and clear." So there is the potential that it will have a Seasons Pass, but from this article and from the dialogue within it, it appears that it won't have one. And this is a great thing, because it solves one of Battlefront EA 2015's biggest problems, which was a community that continuously split as the map packs and DLC came out. So if this turns out to be true, that's a big 1 point. Scratch one thing off the list. No shitty Seasons Passes or a divided community. Though it will be interesting to see what sort of plans they have to support the game after launch, because, I mean, no AAA game just launches and is just complete. I mean, they don't do that anymore. Moving on, by checking out the trailer itself, we can all rejoice in the fact that the prequel era will not be left out, and there will be a single-player campaign. What I found really funny is in this article, Everything We Know So Far About Star Wars Battlefront 2, what they say is, one of the biggest changes in Star Wars Battlefront 2 is the introduction of a single-player campaign. It's phrased as if this is some, revolutionary new shit. They were in the press conference and someone at EA was like, dude, I've got the greatest idea ever. Let's create a single-player campaign. I mean, just think of the possibilities, guys. Imagine if there were games that you could buy and play on your own without an internet connection. I mean, that is some new age shit. We are living in the future. The future is now. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole prequel debate, but I will say that I love the clones, the droids, and just the Clone Wars era in general.
Your clones are very impressive. You must be very proud.
I mean, it was just so fun to play as a Jet Trooper or a Droideka or General Grievous, and I'm glad they aren't just throwing all that to the wolves, because at the end of the day, it provides more content for everyone, and that will appeal to more people. Not to mention the real Battlefront 2 created some of the best Star Wars memes known to the galaxy. But quite honestly, the footage in this trailer makes the campaign look pretty dope. And hopefully there's maybe a reference to Battlefront 2 in the 501st. I mean, that little fan service would go a long-ass way. And the story appears to be focused on an Imperial stormtrooper named Jango Fett. Iden Versio. And it looks like the campaign will delve deep into this sort of life of a stormtrooper type story. So damn, having an actual campaign with an actual story and the Clone Wars era? You're getting there, Dice. That's 3 points out of 6. One of the things that this article highlights is a deeper multiplayer with customizable classes and no bloody star cards. And this is certainly a good thing for the game because, again, one of the biggest problems was that it just didn't appeal for a very long time. It was rather shallow gameplay, surface value. So if their goal is to create a more deeper experience, perhaps slightly more competitive, that's going to make people stick around for a lot longer. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, get out your lightsabers for this one, because there will be some goddamn space battles in Battlefront 2 EA 2017.
This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill.
But, the question is, will it have the depth of the real Battlefront 2? Destroying ship systems, frigates going inside the hangar, that made for some really intense gameplay. I mean, if these space battles are similar to the real Battlefront 2, then you got 4 out of 6 points there, Dice. And from what I've heard, both eras will be playable in space battles. Now, there is a bit of shittiness to this, as there will be a deluxe edition that will just blatantly give people who spend money on it more multiplayer goodness, more weapons, all that typical shit. And that's pretty gay, but not a deal breaker by any means. But bro, I'm about to counter any shittiness with this statement. Split screen co-op confirmed. Although it isn't known whether or not multiplayer and campaign will be split screen co-op or what exactly will be available to play between you and your buddies, but I'll remain hopeful. Again, they're tackling some of the biggest problems here is the fact that you couldn't play the game with your friends. And that's a great sign because split screen co-op has been pushed to the side for the past few years. Video game companies have been forgetting about it, but we're still here, dude. We still want to play split screen, so it's a great thing that they're adding that back in. Hopefully we'll be able to play the majority of the game with our friends. So the final point, the one we've all been waiting for and looking forward to, Galactic Conquest, is unconfirmed. I think I speak for everyone when I say Galactic Conquest was one of the best things about the real Battlefront 2. It turned the game from just something you'd play for fun into an actual conquest. A game mode you could play for hours, where you could strategize and buy fleets and units, power-ups.
Select a bonus to garrison bonus purchase. Select a bonus for this garrison bonus activated.
It took all the best elements of Battlefront 2 and basically turned it into Risk. I mean, who wouldn't want to play Risk in a Star Wars universe? So Galactic Conquest is unconfirmed, and I think it would be pretty challenging to integrate it into the multiplayer, but it's definitely one of the things we all want to see. So I wonder if it's unconfirmed because it's too difficult to put in, or they just aren't doing it and aren't telling us. If it does come back, that'll be 6 out of the 6 points that I want to see and thus I would buy this game without hesitation. But as it sits right now, that's still 5 out of 6 points. If we can play split-screen co-op in campaign and multiplayer, and if space battles retain the same depth and fun. So that's pretty damn good, DICE. Good job, EA, even though I don't like saying that. It feels like a sentence that shouldn't be said, but good job. So now let's answer the question of the video. I think after going through and looking at everything, the way they've given attention to the prequel era, to a single-player campaign, split-screen co-op, a deeper multiplayer, space battles, I think that Star Wars EA Battlefront 2 2017, the rebooting of the second, should be a totally awesome video game. But what do you think about all this news, about all these features? Do you think these articles are telling the truth? Are you gonna buy it, no question? Or are you still pissed at EA and DICE for screwing up the last one? Whatever your thoughts and opinions are, let me know in the comments below. Alright everyone, that's all I got for today. This is the Act Man signing out. Peace!